Okay, we are going to talk about teaching your puppy or your grown dog to sit.
Sit. Yes.
So first, I'm going to real quick say what we're not going to do. So you're not going to use the cue at first. You're not going to say the word sit, and you're not going to push his body into a sit. Instead, what we're going to do is simply take a treat and move it, put it right in front of the puppy's nose to get his attention, and then move it kind of up and back. Typically, that's going to make the puppy, if you're doing it right, make him sit back down on his butt.
Yes.
The second that butt hits the floor, you're going to say yes, or you're going to click with your clicker to mark that important moment. That's what you're talking about. Yes, you did it right. And then follow up with a treat.
Yes.
So repeat that a bunch of times. If you can get him reliably into that seated position 10 times, you are ready to add the cue. You're ready to say the word sit. And the reason we wait for that is that you don't want to be saying the word while he's doing anything but sitting, because then he's going to make a link between that word sit that you keep saying and wandering around the kitchen, lying down, chasing his ball, whatever other things he's doing. So that's step one, is that you are luring him into position. Once it's reliable, you add the cue sit.
Sit. Yes.
You only say a cue one time. I often see people when they've first gotten a dog say sit, 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 or the other version, which is sit, sit, sit. And so that's when it's time to learn that you don't do that. It's like with your kids, you don't say things over and over and over again with them not doing it, because it's just teaching them to ignore you. We don't want to teach. We don't want to teach that. We want to teach it.
Sit.
Yes. Step two is when you take that treat, put it in the other hand, and you're going to use this hand for a prompt or a hand signal. You're not going to be putting the treat right in front of his nose anymore. You're going to be suggesting, prompting that behavior by making your hand look a little bit like it did when it was doing the treat, but this time there's no treat. So you're going sit, just like that. He's going to follow that hand. And then as soon as that butt hits the floor, you say yes, just like you always have. Then you reward with the other hand.
Sit. Yes.
Good.
Sit. Yes.
Step three is when you can fade that prompt. You don't have to make such a dramatic hand signal. It can just get smaller and smaller. And then eventually, you don't have to use that prompt at all. And you can just say sit, and he will sit.
Sit. Yes. Sit. Yes.
So a lot of the time people will come to me for a first lesson. They'll say, oh, he already knows sit. But the truth is, sit is one of those things you can never be finished learning, which is kind of fun. Does he sit when there's a distraction? Does he sit when you have guests over? Does he sit if you are at the vet's office? Does he sit if you're out in the street? Does he sit in the rain? It's kind of like a Dr. Seuss thing. You can be creative about this to make sure that your puppy understands, can generalize this concept that when you say sit, it means no matter what. It means upstairs, in the driveway, in the car. Practice it in all sorts of different scenarios so that your puppy really begins to generalize that cue and understands that sit means sit no matter where you are. There's a trainer that I love on TikTok. My kids have gotten me to watch TikTok. Who beta dog training, and her favorite way to teach people to do this is just to tell them to make it weird. When you're going to generalize a cue, make it weird, meaning lie on the floor and ask for your sit. Start doing this and ask for a sit. Jump up and down and ask for a sit. Wear a hat over your head and ask for a sit. Make it weird so that it really solidifies your dog's understanding of sit. Okay, that's it.